let's put up the Patriots schedule. We already did the win. Did we do the win-loss thing?
Yeah,
I don't know. We're going to do that right now. You did it, but
I did it. We did it.
But I want it up on the screen. So if Mac Jones is the Week 1 starter, how that changes the dynamic and the dynamic of in terms of the Patriots you want to watch him, you want to see him, you want to talk about him. Yeah, what chances they have to win. You throw Mac Jones into the deep end, and that is a division rival. Week 1, first career start, home against Miami. These are the games you have to win. You have to win your division games at home if you want to have a shot of making the playoffs, regardless of a 16, 17 game regular season. And Tua versus Mac Jones, the last two Alabama quarterbacks against each other. And by the way, it's not just like starting off that way. This is, unless the Dolphins do go in some different direction with Tua, which we're constantly talking about, certainly with Deshaun Watson sitting out there still as a possibility, depending on so many different moving parts. That's the future. Tua versus Mac Jones twice a year.
Yeah.
And then week 2 is your first visit on the road in division to the Jets. Zach Wilson versus Mac Jones, which again is something that will be playing out for many years to come for sure, in the fact of like, well, did the Jets do the right thing? Well, no, we got our guy in the middle of the first round, so we'll just beat you up with your number 2 overall quarterback with our 15th overall.
Or the reverse.
Or the reverse.
Or the
reverse.
Pass make the right move because Zach Wilson looks amazing.
I'm taking the negative point of view because that's my default. And then week three, if you put it up there one more time, week 3 is New Orleans. Home for New Orleans. Home for Jameis. I'm assuming that's what it's going to be. Sean Payton coming in. And then week 4. Holy smokes.
Woo.
Brady.
TB12.
Battle of the Combine Bods.
There you go.
Battle of the Combine.
At Houston, then Dallas. Mac Jones thrown into a deep end, clearly anybody you're taking on would be a deep end, but his first nationally televised game as a New England Patriot quarterback would be welcoming Tom Brady into his house. Wow. You've got to feel like he's ready for all of that, which is why you keep Cam on your roster. I mean, for sure. I know what you asked of Tom Curran, and you called it a great question because it was a fascinating question as well. It's like, if you love Mac as much as you love him now, as Curran said, just the first blush mini camps going into this mandatory mini camp, he said the Patriots were agog with Mac Jones, that he is way beyond what they even expected of a rookie to grasp what they want to do conceptually. And what they want to do conceptually, quite frankly, is not what Cam Newton brings to the table.
Not anymore, no.
Well, not even when he was with Carolina. I mean, the passing game that Brady expertly managed, just mastered, that's what they want to do with Mac Jones. They don't want to read option stuff. That's just not what that's not what they want to do. I think they want to do is they want to do what they did with Brady, which was create matchup problems, ball out, and then run it down your throat. If that's what it calls for, hey, they used to do that with Brady all the time. Remember Jonas Gray? Who was the quarterback the night of Jonas Gray? Tom Brady. So it's just like that's what they want to do. Hey, this week calls for running it down your throat. This week calls for using the tight ends. This week calls for using the receivers. Having a quarterback who can handle all of that, not saying Cam Newton does not, but Cam is inconsistent. Cam's become an inconsistent quarterback in this league, and was towards the end of his stay in Carolina. And last year, we have no idea what was going on because of COVID. So I don't want to say last year's just another example of his inconsistency. But he is a former MVP. He is a guy who is a damn lead pipe wielding professional. I loved hearing what Curran said, that one of the reasons why Belichick loves him is for his professionalism. Love that, because the lack of professionalism is what Cam was labeled with when he first came out of college, about being an entertainer and an icon, his body language on the sideline.
And the no tie thing and all that, remember?
Well, and also, thinking twice about going for a fumble in Super Bowl 50.
And how he responded after that
Correct.
game. Yeah.
Correct. And his professionalism, taking less than everybody else, but doing everything that's expected of him and more. That's why you keep him. That's why he might be your week one quarterback. And plus, if the Cam that showed up in the first 3 weeks of last season shows up right here, we're talking about Mac Jones getting a year of learning. That's what we're talking about.
And I hope that happens. That is the best case scenario.
Well, it doesn't happen if you trade him away right now. And who would take him anyway? And
they would have to just cut him and eat his salary,
but there's no point of it. There's no point of doing something like that. He's the guy that could be the guy, and he is the guy now. And if Mac Jones is blossoming, part of the reason why is he doesn't have to be the guy. Cam is there to shoulder that.
Yes, but if Mac is eventually going to be the guy, just having Cam in the way is taking away reps from him.
I don't think it's them in the way. He'll just be the backup. And if he doesn't like that, then that will be the end of that.
And I'm a huge Cam proponent on this show. I wanted Cam in New England for a long time, but I also said if you were going to spend a first-round pick on a quarterback, you should have never brought Cam back in the first place so you could be all systems go with him from the beginning.
But they also didn't know the way the board was going to shake out, did they? When they had to sign Cam right away. And I think doing that was a good move. You also are maybe being a man of your word, too. I don't know. It makes no sense to shake things up like that just because you have a sense of what the rookie could do. I think they're set up nicely. I really do.
But you do think Mac Jones starts this year at some point, right?
I just look at last year. Cam, I know Cam got sick with COVID, but he also gets banged up. He puts his body out there still like he's 20. Yeah. I think invariably he will get in there, and maybe, just maybe.
He's also the size of a defensive end playing quarterback.
I know that.
Which is unlike any other one.
Maybe Mac Jones grabs it and doesn't give it go like another guy. I can't keep saying just like another guy, and then when that other guy is Brady, I mean, that's the expectation level. That's the expectation level that he's going to have to handle. Certainly if they throw him out there week one and he's going against Tua and Miami, and that defense that Miami puts on the field is terrific. Don't forget they're a second-place team for a reason.
Well, didn't Brady come in? He came in against the Jets, obviously, but wasn't that week 2?
Yeah, it was.
And they play the Jets week 2 this year? Like, the parallels between Brady and Mac Jones they're so eerie.
So far.
See you in 20 years.
Oh, you hope, man.
Yeah.
You hope. The Patriots fascinate me, man. They fascinate me for so many reasons, and and then there's the Bills and the Dolphins sitting at the top, and and who knows with the Jets? Who the hell knows?
I would say the happiest team and fan base have to be the Bills right now. Nobody's talking about them, and they're like a low-key Super Bowl contender.
I think Bills fans chafe at that. We've got one at the controls of this program right now.
But they have an MVP candidate, and they should have legit Super Bowl hopes.
I was about to say to Hoskins, take Brockman's camera if this chafes at you. Or there it is. There's Brockman on Peacock, everybody. I think Bills fans want their respect. I think Bills fans want to be talked about as Super Bowl contenders. I think they want to be talked about as Super Bowl contenders because they deserve to be, not like higher register. Hey, man, maybe they can do it. They got one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. They've got one of the best wide receivers in the league. They have one of the best
coaches
in the league. Yeah. They've got a terrific defense. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.